CrabCon 2025 presents the Parade of Crabitats, a procession of inspirational tanks. This is made possible by the generous submissions of Lycos members and members of the Crabitat Dream Builders Facebook page. Not all vendors featured or mentioned are Lycos-approved sellers. At the end of this presentation, a list of Lycos-approved sellers will be displayed. Let's start with Chrysls, where life begins. First, we have Mary Akers Chrysl, which is a 6-gallon circular build. Mary is the founder and executive director of Hermit House, a nonprofit organization with a mission to keep wild hermit crabs wild through education, conservation, and captive breeding. Please contact Hermit House if you are interested in becoming an aspiring breeder. And then we have My First Chrysl by Liz, which is a 4 to 5 gallon build with a sump tank base, with parts purchased from reef stores, hardware stores, and Chewy. It has been manually modified in multiple ways to prevent Zoe from getting sucked out. It has more than one filter, a live sand bed, live rock, and beneficial sump substrates. Liz recently upgraded skimmers to a nice reef octopus, her favorite skimmer brand. There are water alarms to give an alert of any flood or leak. The light has sunrise, sunset, and moon light cycles. And now over to the safe spaces of PPDS and ISO tanks. Here is a lovely isolation tank by Marcy and Lennox Ramus made from an Aqueon 20-gallon tank featuring pools by the Lucky Crab Co. This isolation tank can be ready to go in about an hour at the flip of a switch. The substrate is about 1 inch in depth, and shells are added when needed, based on the crab size. The tank offers many opportunities for climbing and includes a saucer. This is a 25-gallon PPDS tank using a ZooMed terrarium by Larisa Meeks. The pools are tiki cups from Dollar Tree, and craft mesh ladders were added. Providing climbing space, there's a tension rod, boxwood panel, and stone wall backsplash tile from Home Depot. The driftwood is from Canton Aquatics, and laminated scrapbook paper is attached to the outside for background scenery. Here is a 10-gallon isolation tank made of an Aqueon aquarium by Larisa Meeks, which incorporates many of the same amenities as her 25-gallon PPDS tank. The models in the top picture are merely toy hermit crabs. The background picture is from an Etsy seller named Bannerman Can. Another entry by Larisa Meeks. Here we have an isolation container made of a plastic box for cotton swabs ordered off Amazon. This box has holes made using a soldering iron to melt the plastic and contains small amounts of moist sphagnum moss. This box can be kept within the Crabitat in order to maintain heat and humidity. This is an ideal container for a small crab that is surface molting or your substrate is too deep for the 2-liter bottle containment. Crabitats come in all shapes and sizes. Some are second-hand tanks and some are brand spanking new. Beginning a new tank is kind of like a kid playing in the dirt. Let's take a look at some of those wonderful Crabitats that were submitted for your viewing pleasure. Presenting some cozy 29-gallon and below tanks. This is Crabby Corner by Megan with a delightfully natural style thicket providing safe coverage. It's a 29-gallon Aqueon tank with a bean farm heat mat and glass lid. The pools are from the Lucky Crab Co. She has elevated shelves on both the left and the right to make great use of the space. Bright colors meet easy climbing in the habitat with craft mesh and solidly built egg crate shelves. And we know these crustaceans are having a swinging good time in their digs in that tire swing by Crabby Corner Co.'s own Etsy shop. There are generous amounts of leaf litter in this little bungalow too. This beachy Keen 29-gallon setup is the Green Crabitat by Deanne Green. It features some large wood pieces connected by a braided ladder. It's so inviting that even the kitty was in on it. There's quite a nice size wheel for long walks along the beach in the night. Featuring handmade items, the textures of the wood and woven climbing ladders are so satisfying. Just check out those cuties at the top of the greenery. Here is a delightful 68-liter Crabitat called Shell Beach by Sophie. It has 1.7-liter pools using Aqua One filter air sponge filters with small egg crate ramps and gutter guards for easy access. It showcases a nice saucer and a swinging bridge. The attention to detail really makes it sparkle. There's a handmade cocoa hut, and the hanging plant is from Happy Hermie and used horizontally instead of vertically. The background is from Amazon. Sophie's shell shop is made of a multi-level plastic tray, with the lower half being used to hold up the pools. Modifications for the upper portion were made with a Stanley knife, a Dremel, and a belt sander. This is Willowbrook by Larisa Meeks and Willow Hamlet. It uses a 25-gallon Zoo Med terrarium with added plexiglass in the front to allow for 6 inches of substrate. It features a ladder from a Little Krabby Co-op, 3D printed pools, and the foliage is from Pinplax and Exoterra. Look at this colorful decor in a 29-gallon tank called Conservation Crabitat by Catherine Tynes. It's just ducky. The mirror, oil cafe, swinging chala, and forage fodder are from Crafty Krabby on Etsy. The picnic table and starfish feeder are from the Lucky Crab Co. You can see a myriad of colorful foliage throughout the tank. The food, background climbing mats, and ducks are from Crab Packs. Catherine loves this Crabitat that she built with her children. The family added Oreo crumble isopods to the tank. Everything a happy crab could need in this comfy home, and Catherine says they have come a long way since buying the crabs at a water park. Next up, we have 30 to 55-gallon tanks that are definitely no Crab Shack. And here is the famous baby tank by Mary Akers. There are several pieces from the Lucky Crab Co. to be spotted in this Crabitat. You will also notice handmade pottery pieces, including baby ladders by Mary Akers herself. It is made from a 55-gallon Aqueon tank with fiber mats from Josh's Frogs and Cocoa Huts from Amazon. This entire setup is miniaturized for those toddling babies. And now presenting Shea Marina in a 40-gallon tank by Ella Schillinglaw. It has 10 inches of substrate, moss, wood chips, leaf litter, and plenty of shells. Her crab, Marina, loves knocking down the elephant statue seen at the front. In addition to the saucer, there are lots of handmade toys and decor, including puzzles with treats. Ella has a fantastic moss-filled balcony in the upper left corner. This Crabitat is a wonderful blend of wood and jute. And now to the original Crab Key by Larisa Meeks. Crab Key started as an Aqueon 55-gallon tank, and we will see it again later with toppers. At this stage, it has one glass lid and one plexiglass lid. The upright wheel is a caddy comfort exercise wheel with added greenery, bamboo, and driftwood. The background is a mix of bamboo placemats with greenery from Crab Packs. The gauge is attached via Velcro to an aquarium log turned upright. Pool ramps were made of Dollar Tree baskets cut into rectangles with driftwood and faux greenery attached to the outer portion. The pool shelves are from Dollar Tree with cake columns added for support. The pools are tetrahexagon-shaped beta tanks that came with filters and air pumps. The lighting is IKEA clamp lamps. Her base is made of 2x4s and cinder blocks with tiny curtains hiding storage below. Who could miss Fun with Colors by Joy Moretti Barnes and its abundance of climbing opportunities for her decapods, with items from Hardini's 3D Minis like the condo, which has seats, stairs, and ladder. Here's a close-up of some of those 3D printed items. This Crabitat is a 55-gallon tank where Joy's children love to watch her, and vice versa. There are small cups for holding damp moss to maintain humidity. The pastel colors provide a cheerful aesthetic. And this, friends, is Vibrant Kate's 55 by Kate Masternack that also features a variety of 3D printed items. The greenery covers 3 sides of the tank, giving it the feel of a secluded cove. She has swinging bridges, a cocoa hut, and cork round. It has a plethora of scalable surfaces hidden among the violet and green hues with craft mesh as the canvas. Kate incorporated a variety of textures and sizes of leaves. There is ample coverage provided by the foliage and hides to give these crabs a sense of comfort. This serene dwelling is the Likens Crabitat by Rebecca Likens, made of a 50-gallon tank. The pools, made of doubled plastic fridge organizers, are separated from the substrate by a silicone-sealed plexiglass divider to prevent flooding. Each pool has a filter and bubbler as well. This Crabitat provides a myriad of climbing surfaces mixed in with the green leaves. Notice the Chalawwood bridge and the swinging ladder. The disco ball was made by Rebecca herself. The background is made of boxwood, and you can find a Hermie or two sneaking off in there. This is a 40-gallon tank called Lulu by Marcy and Lennox Ramus. It has splashes of plum, orchid, and teal to match Lennox's room. The pools are by the Lucky Crab Co. While Marcy loves this tank, she does not recommend a top fin 40-gallon due to its unique measurements, which make it difficult to find a glass lid or topper. She has totally overcome this obstacle to create a dreamy shoreline retreat. Now here is an adorable hermit home called A Mix of Things by Joy Moretti Barnes, made from an Aqueon 40-gallon tank. It has bright 3D printed pools from Hardini's 3D Minis, as well as plenty of 3D printed climbing elements. This was Joy's very first tank, and it features a wheel from the Lucky Crab Co. in which she has seen two crabs walking together on occasion. She says it's their favorite. Joy has foraging items such as sea urchins and a lovely boxwood panel in the back corner. Here we have a 45-gallon tank called Pink Paradise by Nikki Susi. It features items from Norton's Nest, the Lucky Crab Co., and Hardini's 3D Minis. Nikki designed the climbing walls, shell shop, and shelf. And this is the floral and beachy themed 30-gallon by Vivian Van. It offers nice deep substrate to the shelled residents. The rosy and blush floral selection came from the dollar store. Vivian was gifted an Aqueon LED light, and the tank has a plexiglass lid wrapped in plastic. The pink tinted saucer completes the mood. Greenery surrounds her 3D printed pools with bubblers, allowing her crabs a tranquil place to bathe, and the large leaves act as shading umbrellas. A blossoming thicket hedges the Shell Boutique. The forest green grid of the flower panels gives both sturdiness and safety for climbing. Now presenting Aaron's 40-gallon by Matthew with its poolside trouser emporium. The greenery includes a Pinplax Reptology hanging terrarium plant with orange accents and boxwood panels. There's a tranquil cave nestled along the back wall for our shelled friends. And note the charming wheel that elegantly matches the natural colors within the Crabitat. Matthew used egg crate pool ladders, providing safe climbing. Here we have the Tropical Krabby Pad by Donna Coleman, made from a 55-gallon tank. It has a marvelous canopy of leaves and vines to give shaded cover. The substrate is nice and deep. There are heat mats, but living in California, Donna says she hasn't had to insulate the tank. The pools are critter carriers with egg crate ladders and seashells to balance the pH. Boxwood panels cover the heat mat, providing such a placid ambience for this crabby home. Those are some delighted crustaceans. Next up is a little treat called Egg Rolls Chinese Buffet by Jennifer Marichek, with its natural woodland feel. Made from a 40-gallon breeder tank, it has Pyrex 4-cup size bowls for pools with craft mesh ladders. The forestry floor has moss, leaf litter, and sea urchins. The soft color of the saucer complements the shell selection from Hermit Harbor. Many of the decor items came from Walmart and local pet stores. The extra craft mesh leading up to the pool ladders helps to wipe those mini legs off. While Jennifer likes her simpler setup, we love that it beautifully exceeds basic requirements. Here is Mr. Meeseek's Molt Resort by Lizzie, with a wonderful combination of hutastic botanical accents in a 40-gallon tall tank. There's no shortage of opportunities for these crabs to show their athletic prowess with those chromatic chain links, Chalawwood, and swinging bridge. The shell shop is made using dollar store storage bins with jute twine and Gorilla Hot Glue, an idea from Crafty Krabby. Even the light, with a remote switch, was from the dollar store, and it doesn't use batteries. Lizzie created her own backgrounds using egg crate, boxwood panels, outdoor command strips, and flowers from Hobby Lobby and Michaels. It gives a sense of spring with the charming flowers. Presenting Jumbo Love by Rebecca Likens, which is a 55-gallon bow front tank. It has foam and cork wood on the back wall as well as aquarium backgrounds. The shape of the tank allows for maximum crab watching. The accent here is on adorable with strawberry shortcake, a castle, and a nice lounging chair on a lovely patch of grass mat. The tank has 7 inches of substrate, and the gravity feeder has a piece of craft mesh below it for stability. The flowery ornamentation gives privacy to the shell salon in the corner, and the exercise wheel has added traction via the craft mesh. You will find quiet resting spots such as the cork round and the coconut hide. The pools, which are fridge organizers, are separated from the substrate by a siliconed-in plexiglass to prevent flooding. Any hermit crab would embrace this jungle canopy. Join me and let's take a look around Jumbo Love. This bright and colorful abode is a 40-gallon tank called Adoptee Paradise by Rebecca Likens. It offers natural items such as deer antler, snake shed, driftwood, and also houses isopods and springtails. The decor comes all the way to the front to lull crabs into a sense of safety. This Crabitat features oils and tallow created by Rebecca. The pools are made from Tupperware containers with colorful craft mesh ladders that match the gauge holder. Rebecca has offered an absolute bazaar for crustacean shell shopping. The hanging cocoa hut is lined with frog moss. And take a look at this beautiful tension rod wrapped in jute with vine intertwined. The lights have a 24/7 cycle that changes shades throughout the sunrise, sunset, and twilight times. Next for your viewing pleasure, here is a panoramic view of a collection of 56 to 99-gallon crab-arariums. This 75-gallon tank is Caribbean Vacay by Marcy and Lennox Ramus, and it pops. It features the large-size pools from the Lucky Crab Co. and offers tons of both climbing and hiding space. We see a variety of upper-level components that create a balcony overlooking the shore. There is plenty to see and do in this Crabitat. The tank has a kaleidoscopic assortment of elements. And here is Hermit Crab Rescue Farm by Kayla Dixon in a 75-gallon tank with its intertidal zone setting. It has the medium-sized pools from the Lucky Crab Co. There are terraces along the back wall, mostly made of seed pods. Magnetic ledges hold staples such as worm castings and green sand, and in the corner there is a cave fountain for added enrichment. Sea urchins not only provide additional decor, they are a good source of calcium. There are nice greenery mats to wipe off the sand before entering the pools for a dip. Next, join me on this tour of Paradise Falls by Jenna Ritter. It is a 75-gallon tank with background foliage from Walmart and faux succulents from Michael's zip-tied on. The 3D printed items are from Etsy, and the rope bridge is handmade from jute twine. And the large tree piece is a hand-me-down aquarium piece from Jenna's own father. This 75-gallon tank is Rainbow Bright by Joy Moretti Barnes. It includes lots of vibrant 3D printed items, including Joy's favorite, the hexagon climbing wall, which glows in the dark. This tank features items from Hardini's 3D Minis. You have to love how long that colorful chain is in the Crabitat. Here is a 60-gallon tank by Jenna Evanson. She has shells from Hermit Harbor and the Shell Store. The pink flower dish and pool tray are from the Lucky Crab Co. The crabs are obsessed with the pool bubbles. Her tank also has many things and not just leaf litter from south of the ocean. Jenna likes the chain link vines, vines with fake flowers, and real coral pieces. She got an absolute steal on this tank and stand for only $30. It features many handmade items such as egg crate shelf hanging by jute rope, an egg crate swing, and a handmade knotted climbing rope. This 99-gallon setup is by Jennifer Belaw. It is made from a Reptizoo knockdown terrarium. The background is made of DIY clear acrylic pegboard, and the acrylic sheets are 1/4 inch thick with hand-drilled holes. Decor is then secured with zip ties. Designed for comfort and attractiveness, notice the well-displayed shell shop. All that clear acrylic allows for additional natural light to fill the calming space. There is artificial greenery added for privacy and any shy decopods. The shell shop is permanent and made with a clear acrylic bin lined with cocoa fiber. There is also a forging pit attached to the pegboard. Most of the wood featured is locally sourced grapevine. That fabulous forging pit is stocked with local items including deer antler, magnolia leaves, seed pods, oak leaves, bark, lichens, live moss, dried strawberry and raspberry leaves, rose petals, blue stem grass, and snake shed. This tank provides gradient light with a UVA UVB LED reptile grow light designed for high humidity environments. There are suspended cork rounds and chala climbing sticks. The tank currently holds 9.5 inches of substrate. The Crabitat sits upon a heavy-duty steel toolbox which also provides additional storage. Most of the artificial greenery is from Hobby Lobby. Jennifer would like to highlight Hulu Portus on Etsy for jumbo shells. Now we have some delightful 99-gallon and under tanks with toppers. This 50-gallon base tank with a 50-gallon topper is by Meredith Haas. It features Meredith's 3D printed pools and upright wheel available at her Etsy shop, The Lucky Crab Co. The walls are covered with boxwood greenery. There are plenty of hiding spaces with the wood, Timothy hay, baskets, and the hanging crochet piece. With all the draped vines and ladders, it has a beautiful jungle aura. Here's a 75-gallon base tank with a 50-gallon topper, also by Meredith Haas. This lovely residence features a Timothy hay basket for a shell shop and lots of chala wood along the back. There is a hanging tire swing, upright wheel, a saucer, and a gravity feeder. We see a great deal of vegetation on the left side wall and along the back, which gives the crabs plenty of territory for scaling. This Crabitat is called Baseball because of the size of the crabs residing in it. Built by Marcy and Lennox Ramus, it's a 75-gallon Aqueon base with two 20-gallon Exoterra toppers. Here we see the large-size pools with the bubblers from the Lucky Crab Co. Notice the scarlet and canary yellow accents throughout. It has scads of chala wood mixed in with the boxwood along the back wall. The crabs can easily traverse from one wall to another. Here we find Cateau Crab Condo by K. Cateau that looks like it was inspired by Swiss Family Robinson. It is built from a 75-gallon Marineland tank and a 30-gallon Exoterra topper. The pools are custom containers with Pawfly mini sponge filters. The ladder, decor, greenery, wheel, and toys are from various shops on Etsy. Craft mesh was added to the bird ladder for better footing. The shell shop is nicely displayed toward the front of the tank. Presenting Kiddo's Crabitat by Karen Brandon. It's a 60-gallon oceanic base tank with Zoomed Repti Habitat topper. Karen incorporated a couple of exceptional pieces of wood in the layout. The pools are two separate half-gallon glass EDOT rimless fish tanks filtered with U-Pet Tools mini filters. The tension rods are thick aluminum expandable curtain rods from Walmart and wrapped with natural jute cord. Karen made the acrylic pool ramps with fake grass by cutting and bending the acrylic. The adorable climbing leaves attached to the walls are from a Little Krabby Co-op on Etsy and come in a package of 12. Karen highly recommends Wise cameras for every hermit crab owner. The lighting is an Aqueon LED strip with sunrise and sunset timers to maintain a natural day and night setting. Here is Louie's Loft by Maddie Jenkins. made from a 40-gallon base tank from Petco and a 20-gallon Exoterra topper. It also features those colorful climbing leaves from a little crabby co-op. Notice the hanging piece from Norton's Nest above the pools. The greenery in the back is silicone to the glass for permanency. All of these suspended items really do create a loft. The Chia Garden, Fab Forager, and Mirror are from Crafty Krabby. On the same multi-level shelf, you can see the pants department with the mirror. Let's take a quick look around. The pools are the medium size from the Lucky Crab Co. Here is Crab Key, now with toppers, by Larisa Meeks. Two 25-gallon ZooMed terrariums were added as toppers to the 55-gallon Aqueon tank. There are 6 inches of overhang on each side, with the floor or balcony made of corrugated plastic covered with nylon placemats. Part of Larisa's goal was to show toppers can be put on a 55-gallon, which is often considered too narrow at just 12 inches deep. The saucer on the right is just a basic hamster exercise saucer and has been a favorite of her crab since the beginning. Larisa documented this build on her website crustaceanpets.blogspot.com. You can see a variety of bird nests from Amazon hanging from silicone swag hooks. There is a baby wheel from the Lucky Crab Co. Larisa's husband 3D printed the egg chair, and there are several items that are used for cake decorating. The background tile is stone backsplash from Home Depot. There are some added grow lights and sea monkey tanks along the top. And finally in this picture you can see 2 jumping spider habitats. The wood grain panel covering the substrate is made of Reflectix covered with Dollar Tree adhesive shelf paper, and the edges are trimmed with gaffer's tape. Gaffer's tape can be used in place of duct tape when attaching toppers, and it isn't shiny but has a cloth-like look. The panel is held in place by Velcro dots. One of Larisa's favorite items are the tree trunk dishes from Amazon that are marked as spider water bowls. Vacay Getaway is a crab extravaganza by Alexis Baldacero, which is made from a 40-gallon Aqueon breeder tank and a 40-gallon ZooMed topper. Varying levels were created with Dollar Tree pegboard and shelves. This is a real jungle gym with a multitude of levels. The panels were built by Hermit Hut DFW. It has a nice selection of saffron and apricot tones amongst the leaves and grass. The crabs love the sensory climbing board as well as the circular jute and cork round climbing wall. There are so many textures for the crabs to experience. This is Alexis's newest and latest build. It's called Vacay Getaway because, for the time being, it is a temporary tank while renovations are being made to the permanent Crabitat. I'm sure it will inspire many a crab keeper. Now presenting Ecuadorian Playground by Fatima Caraway, which is a 65-gallon base tank with a 30-gallon topper. It features pools made from Dollar Tree refrigerator organizers and has bubblers. There are several chain links wrapped in jute aiding in navigation throughout the tank. The right side glows with magenta and cobalt accents. The pegboard climbing walls were made by Crazy Crab Cafe. The shell shop is raised to prevent losing shells to the sand. With the dense foliage, it provides tons of climbing and hiding spaces to keep some happy hermit crabs. This elegant Crabitat is called Hermit's Hideaway by Ashley Smith and is made of a 29-gallon base tank and 25-gallon topper. It is home to Sheldon and Claudia, a pair of Ecuadorians. It definitely gives aloha vibes with the beautiful blossoming plants. You can almost hear the ocean waves. It truly is a hermit's hideaway. With its fantastical second level featuring air plants and sea urchins, it gives an underwater feel to the terrestrial space. The pools and tilt-a-whirl are made by the Lucky Crab Co., and the pea pod dish is handmade by Mary Akers. The blooms of pumpkin and lemon add to the tropical adornment. The Hermit's Hideaway sign above the tank to the left was made by Ashley, and here's a close-up of those hanging sea urchins. And in these final photos, we see an adorable mid-century house in the upper level and delightful tiki balconies below. What a lovely seaside retreat. Here we have Hermit Hoard by Megan Shannon with its secret passageways and subterranean grotto. It is made of a 75-gallon Aqueon base tank and a 67-gallon Reptizoo topper. The pools are Rubbermaid plastic containers with ladders made from craft mesh and attached with zip ties. It looks lovely in the moonlight with the garnished promenades. There are grassy balconies with floating toe dipper pools and even a tiki bar on the lower level. Let's have a look around, shall we? Dishes are by Earth Water Fire Studio and the Lucky Crab Co. The underground hideout is made by Lucky Critter, and the clubhouse with ladder is by Jam 3D Creations. And the giant wheel is from Strudel's shop on Etsy and features super duper magnets. And this is Hermy Hills by Peyton Stifler in all its botanical glory. Made from a 75-gallon base tank picked up from a garage sale and two 65-gallon Reptizoo knockdown terrariums for toppers. After feeling claustrophobic for her two hermit crabs and their 36-gallon tank, Peyton got inspired to make this build. The background is made from pegboards and sectioned off for easy removal and customization. The foliage is a mix from Amazon, Joann's, Michael's, AliExpress, and Temu. There are ledges and wood nestled along the back wall greenery, giving the crabs wonderful vantage points from which they can survey their dwelling. The pools are from Lucky Crab Co. There are shower curtain rings wrapped in natural jute for climbing, and you can see the oak dowel bridges made by Peyton. She modded a shower organizer to make a shell shop and moss pit combo. The blend of camel, khaki, and fawn make for an earthy ambiance. Next up for your viewing pleasure, we have an array of some spacious 100 or more gallon tanks. The Fantastical Baby Tank by Meredith Haas could have fit in several categories, including custom. It actually has a 30-gallon base tank, but is filled to the brim with substrate. There's technically a 90-gallon topper that provides an abundance of space. The substrate is surrounded by a tidy curtain. We find balconies trimmed with applewood and a Zilla spring cave. The baby tank is an arboreal playground. It features many handmade and 3D printed items by Meredith. Sit back and relax for a moment as we meander through Meredith's baby tank. Now we have a 225-gallon base tank called Pinch Me I'm Dreaming by Jessica Burleson. She is working on a 100-gallon topper for the future, but we love what she has done with this space. Jessica made the jellyfish climbers and the cork cottage herself. This is the tank in the process of being built, showing lots of hard work going into that egg crate level. There are more pieces being designed for the tank and the future topper. It reminds you of a fairy garden. The The background is made from foam panels covered in 6 layers of dry lock and sand. We love how the outside can be decorated for the holidays. The pools for Pinch Me I'm Dreaming were made by the Lucky Crab Co. This Crabitat glows with the indigo and lilac accents contrasting against the shoreline. Next up is Breakfast Club by Cass Van Eperen in a 120-gallon tank. It provides easy access to the shell boutique on the front of the tank. Fish bowls are used for moss and foraging caverns. The pools are 2-gallon aquariums with sponge filters and egg crate ladders for easy access. Cass's crabs are obsessed with climbing the rock and aquarium decor. A large piece of chala wood bridges from the shell boutique balcony to the fern-covered Carrefour. As you can see, the pools are raised. It has a custom egg crate and boxwood background with vines and branches attached. This is Jumbo Tank by Lana Bennett, made from a 120-gallon tank. Her pools are medium critter carriers with sponge filters and egg crate ladders. Zoe respawned in those pools in spring of 2024 and shipped off to Mary Acres. Lana provided an enormous exercise wheel for beachside strolls. This is Lana's first big tank. She made the background in panels to easily switch out decor and enrichment. There is a welcoming foraging bin filled with moss and leaf litter. Because she lives close to a river, there's always a variety of driftwood and she changes things up regularly. This tank is home to 8 Hermes and powder white isopods. Here we have a collection of some deluxe 100 or more gallon tanks with toppers. May I present Kornmann's Crabitat by Krista Kornmann. This Crabitat is made from a 125-gallon base tank with 2 40-gallon toppers. One of the toppers has a custom-made spray foam background covered with eco-earth. There are branches and swinging ladders for climbing to the upstairs. Her pools are 2.5-gallon aquariums with lighted bubblers. In addition to cocoa huts, there are mangrove trunks, starfish, and boxwood-covered ladders in this spectacular display. It is decorated in crisp autumn colors with tones of ginger, marigold, honey, and dandelion. And here is Shannon's Crabitat by Shannon Thomas, made with a 100-gallon base tank and a 30-gallon Exoterra topper. The pools in the back have egg crate ramps for added traction. There's a jute rope wrapped tension rod with hanging greenery and a cute little swing and saucer. Driftwood provides climbing to the topper, which is illuminated like a solarium. The shell market is neatly contained in baskets to the right. And this is the most recent rendition of Crab Key by Larisa Meeks. This Crabitat takes inspiration from Krista Kornmann's tank. It's a 150-gallon Aqueon base tank that required a 500-mile journey from Memphis to Birmingham and back, because no one in Memphis had such a massive tank. It has 2 100-gallon Reptizoo knockdown terrariums as toppers. There's a shelf between the base and the toppers that is made of dry-locked plywood covered in brown silicone and eco-earth. The upright wheel is the giant Katie Comfort exercise wheel with holes melted into it to zip tie wood and greenery. There are resin mushroom ledges silicone to outside walls of the freshwater pool, and there are aquarium decor mangrove trunks in the corners. The lighting is a mix of IKEA clamp lights and a string of LED Edison bulbs working on a mechanical timer. Larisa silicone mini hooks throughout the topper for future changes. Here we see a rope and wood bird ladder that has the ends of the wood silicone to prevent molding. There are clear acrylic corner shelves silicone to the corners and covered in wood and stone for the saucers made by the Lucky Crab Co. On the right, you can see 3M adhesive silicone weather stripping covering the tiny gap in the topper doors. Because Reptizoo terrariums use a key, Larisa connected the key to a chain and then attached it to the tank with a suction cup, making for easy access. There are several unique 3D printed items in the tank by Etsy vendors that have since closed their shops. However, you can often find similar items from other sellers. The greenery is a mix of pin plaques, Exoterra, and decorative items from Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, and Dollar Tree. The background pictures are aquarium backgrounds from Bannerman Can on Etsy. There is 17 inches of substrate in the base, and the pools are raised on locker shelves. Each pool is an Aqueon 5.5 gallon tank, but neither are ever completely filled. Both tanks have Thrive reptile ramps for entry and exit, nostalgic pin plaques bubblers, sponge filters, and Tetra whisper filters that run only on airline. There is aquarium decor in both pools. The saltwater tank has live sand. Next, we take a magical journey to Crabworts by Alicia Perry. It's a 125-gallon base tank with two 25-gallon toppers. The pools are permanent 2.5-gallon aquariums with sponge filters. This fun tank features 3D printed Hogwarts Castle, Hagrid's Hut, Forbidden Forest, Flying Hippogriff, and broomsticks. There are cauldron hides and dishes. The sandbox dishes are in house colors. Great detail went into the rock wall, tiered shell shop, and bridge covered in craft mesh. There's an abundance of greenery creating a mysterious feel. Let's take a minute and go through this incredible Crabitat. From Harry Potter, we transition to another favorite, Gilligan's Island by Suzanne Whaley. It's a 125-gallon base tank with two 40-gallon Exoterra toppers. Going with a very natural look, she used oak and poplar wood from her property in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. Suzanne managed to grab a bargain with a used base tank. She made 6 Gilligan's Island-themed huts using acrylic bird feeders covered in foraged bark. She also forages for fresh green moss on her property and uses it throughout the tank for added humidity. There are many acrylic shelves added to the tank for additional levels and shell procurement. Here we see one of the huts draped with flowers of vermilion and amber. Definitely worth a 3-hour tour. Notice there are multiple wheels within the Crabitat. And as you can see from the Wise footage, Gilligan's Island is a happening place for these castaways. This tank is a 135-gallon base tank with two 50-gallon toppers by Meredith Haas. Her pools are 2.5-gallon low-profile rimless aquariums from Amazon with waterfalls in the corners. In addition to vines and branches, Meredith used a lovely garland of greenery balls for traveling across their haven. She has bird ladders for accessing the upper level, multiple pastel saucers and wheels from her own shop, and grass mats for added grip. There's a tiered shelf and additional levels with jute rope accent placed throughout the tank. Next, take a journey with me through Susie's Crabitat by Nikki Susie. Made from a 120-gallon tank with a 40-gallon topper. It features items from Norton's Nest, Reptiles of Eden, The Lucky Crab Co., A Little Krabby Co-op, Target, Petco, PetSmart, Hobby Lobby, and Amazon. Nikki crafted several items herself, including the shell shop, mirror, climbing walls, and small foraging pots. Here we have Hermit Haven by Becca, which is a 127-gallon base tank and a 24-gallon Exoterra topper. It is unique with its inverted T design and perfect symmetry. The pools are double plastic storage containers with air stone bubblers. She has decorated her tank with a blend of fuchsia and amethyst flowers, natural wood pieces, and large conch shells. Hermit Haven has a mix of thrifted, handmade, and natural items. Becca says that being in Canada, she doesn't have access to the Etsy sellers that most Americans have. It is an elegant Crabitat with wonderful greenery, climbing surfaces, and large hides. It feels like a tropical island beachfront. Now we have a 225-gallon base tank with a 60-gallon topper by Trisha Landers. It features 2.5-gallon mini aquariums for pools, and it was Trisha's first big setup. The houseplants add a natural feel to the habitat. There are plenty of climbing apparatuses, adding many layers to the tank. It has a wonderful arched branch providing a relaxing amble from one side to the other, and to the right you can see a nice forested corner offering deep coverage. And now we move on to a menagerie of palatial connected tanks. This breathtaking spacious wonder is Crab Nation by Angie Gaxtetter. It is built with 3 75-gallon tanks and one 150-gallon tank for the base. It has 3 89-gallon toppers. Here we see the toppers lit in a lovely periwinkle shade. Crab Nation is home to many fortunate hermit crabs. There are 2 2.5-gallon moss pits for them to enjoy. You will find items from Hobo Hermie nestled within the tank. Inside this giant structure, you will notice much of the decor comes all the way to the front. The thick foliage allows for privacy, but also can make crabs feel safe enough to venture to the front glass. The crabs easily climb from one tank to the next via toppers, allowing for distant travels. Angie has 4 pools total, making it a real natatorium. There are 2 5-gallon pools and 2 2.5-gallon pools with Aqueon filters and lighted bubblers. She uses resin fish decor and bridges for access within the pools and driftwood leading up to them. Here we have the Exotics tank by Mary Akers. It has 2 90-gallon base tanks and 2 toppers. Items within the tank include pieces made by The Lucky Crab Co., Cenobita Curiosities, and a Night Angel wheel with a pedometer. You will also find a modified wheel by Mary. There is a forest side with leaf litter bark and moss. Over on the beach side, there is argonite sand, shells, and saucers. She has elevated foraging for items like flowers that do not do well directly on the substrate, and she has a 10-gallon filtered saltwater pool and a large plastic tub for fresh water with live plants. One of the tanks was donated by Darcy Matson of Crab Central Station. Perry 95 by Alicia Perry is made of 2 20-gallon long tanks and a 55-gallon tank. There are 3 toppers. She has one side with a picnic and playground area, and the other side is a Moana theme with a Heart of Tafiti custom light fixture. The toppers are filled with beautiful flowers and greenery. There are plenty of climbing surfaces and vines to keep the crabs moving. She also used silicone weather stripping on her toppers to help seal in the humidity. Alicia has multiple pools from the Lucky Crab Co. These are elevated, as you can see. The space is bursting with enrichment activities for her crustacean friends. And this is Purple Pincher Paradise by Fatima Caraway. She built the base out of a 70-gallon tank and two 29-gallon tanks. Her toppers are two 20 gallons and a 10-gallon. Fatima has done a wonderful job of making great use of the space in her toppers. She has a large log tunnel creating an arbor heading towards the pools. Her pools are from Dollar Tree. Fatima not only has light from above, but also light across the front and a nicely placed camera to catch all the action. The background is made with Dollar Tree pegboards of various sizes, and all the greenery was made by the Crazy Crab Cafe. The decor is very tropical and features many large leaves for concealment. There are several pieces of hanging chala wood and a jute-wrapped tension rod. Let's have a look and see, shall we? Now we have Smith 139 by Hunter Smith. It's designed with two 55-gallon base tanks connected with a 29-gallon topper. He has an upright wheel and a saucer, several hides, and natural items such as antlers. This tank features a variety of textures and climbing materials, including a large shell. These are definitely happy crabbies. Boxwood and oak tree bark are silicone to the back glass for both background and climbing. There's a scattering of leaf litter throughout. Included on the back wall are coconut hides nestled amongst the boxwoods with rope and wood ladders. And for our final category, we have a few one-of-a-kind custom tanks. This delightful tank is Happy Crabitat by Amy Wilson. It's a 230-gallon tank. Her pools are E-Dot Fish 2-gallon glass aquariums with whisper filters and bubblers. She used egg crate for her pool ladders. Her video highlights many of the items used in the build. Here is the Haas Custom Tank by Meredith Haas. It was her first tank. The shells are suspended off the substrate with a lovely crocheted hanging basket, leaving no space to waste. 3 walls are covered with climbing surfaces, and an exercise wheel is placed along the back wall. There is a beautiful contrast between the greenery and the tangerine and fuchsia flowers. Meredith has multiple fringed hanging cocoa huts and a tire swing. It's a slice of paradise for some fortunate hermit crabs. This is the first topper by Holly Suddeth, made of a 55-gallon base tank and a 50-gallon customized sliding door topper. She has a 1-gallon freshwater pool with a sponge filter and lovely resin mangrove trunk. There is a large Tupperware container with a small filter for salt water. An important lesson that Holly said she learned was to be sure to be able to access everything in the bottom tank. The build offers multiple levels accessed by both branches and thick ropes. There's a 3-inch PVC pipe that goes to the bottom of the base and is used to support large branches, which can be switched out. Holly made pool stands out of 1/2-inch PVC pipe and floor tile in order to elevate the pools. She earned a permanent pinned post on the Crabitat Dream Builders Facebook page for this build. This post has step-by-step instructions. As promised, here is the Lycos-approved seller directory. Scan the QR code to see the links to all of the Lycos-approved sellers. We truly hope that you enjoyed this parade of Crabitats. This has been a special production of Shoreline.